Have you ever felt that something is wrong with the world, but no one around you seems to notice? As if you are seeing hidden layers of reality, while everyone around you lives anesthetized, entertained, resigned. Perhaps you have tried to share a deeper thought in a casual conversation, and were met with uncomfortable silences, empty stares, or even disguised disdain in the form of jokes. The truth is that the more you think, the more you see, the more disconnected you become. And this is not a coincidence. It is a pattern. A cruel pattern that society imposes on those who dare to see beyond. You are not arrogant for feeling that others seem shallow. You are not snobbish for preferring silence to superficiality. You are not broken. You are awake. And the world fears those who awaken. Arthur Schopenhauer, one of the most ruthlessly lucid philosophers in history, knew this better than anyone. He wrote, "A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsociable, not because the intellectual withdraws, but because the world pushes him away. Deep intelligence, the kind that goes beyond the repetition of facts, that questions the meaning of things, that faces the pain of existence with honesty, is seen as a threat. Why? Because it confronts what people most want to protect, their illusions. We live in a society where it is acceptable to display wealth, beauty, even power, but not wisdom. True wisdom is unsettling. It strips bare. It illuminates what was comfortable in the shadows, and most prefer to remain blind than to face the truth that you can no longer ignore. If you are watching this video because you feel out of place, misunderstood, perhaps even unwanted, know one thing: this is not your fault. This is the price you pay for seeing too much. But there is strength in this, there is greatness in this. And there is a possible path, not to fit into a world that was not made for you, but to learn to exist with wisdom within it, without losing your essence. This video is a conversation, not with the masses, but with you, with those who are tired of being called too complicated, with those who have learned that thinking is, at times, an act of solitude, but also an act of courage. And that is what we are going to talk about. If this resonates with you, keep watching, because finally, someone is going to say what you have always known, but no one has had the courage to admit. The discomfort you feel when trying to be yourself in social environments is not a delusion. There is a deeply rooted psychological mechanism that explains why intelligent people, especially those who think critically, analytically, and existentially, often provoke negative reactions even without doing anything offensive at all. This phenomenon has a name: the mirror effect. You see, when you enter an environment and start to speak more deeply, when you question accepted ideas without reflection or simply demonstrate clarity in your way of thinking, something happens within the other person, a kind of internal short circuit. Without you directly saying it, you make the other person see themselves. And the reflection is almost always uncomfortable, because most people have built their identity around fragile ideas, inherited beliefs, copied values, not around a genuine search for truth. You inadvertently become a mirror, and no one likes to truly look at themselves when what they see is emptiness, insecurity, or ignorance. Your thought is not just a thought, it is a silent invitation to introspection. And introspection hurts. You become a symbolic threat, a reminder of everything the other person preferred not to think about, not to see, not to feel. And the natural reaction to this is rejection. The problem is not you, it is what you awaken. Schopenhauer said that elevated intellect often becomes lonely because society rejects what it does not understand. And there is a cruel truth in this. When someone rejects you for being deep, they are often just trying to protect the image they have of themselves. It is not rational, it is instinctive, an ego defense mechanism. That is why, when discussing existential themes, reflecting on the human condition, or questioning social norms, you feel like you are invading forbidden territory. You are, unwittingly threatening a mental structure that was built to keep that person safe within the illusion. They do not want to wake up. They want to continue sleeping peacefully. And you are the alarm clock. But do not think this is a modern phenomenon. Throughout history, great thinkers have been marginalized, ridiculed, or silenced precisely for this reason. Not because they were wrong, but because they dared to be the mirror in a room full of masks. The question is, why does society prefer to maintain these masks, even when the truth is within reach? What is so frightening about thinking deeply? The answer lies in the next point, where we will explore why society prefers comfort over truth and why intelligent people are constantly pushed out of the system. Get ready, because now we are going to touch the wound. If this content is making sense to you, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. The truth in itself is unbearable for most people. It hurts, destabilizes, uproots what we call normality. And that is why society, as a living organism, has built a powerful survival mechanism. It prioritizes comfort above all, not the truth. And everything that threatens that comfort is immediately rejected. Deep intelligence is not just the ability to accumulate knowledge. It is the skill to see hidden patterns, to question the obvious, to distrust common sense. But here lies the problem. Common sense is what keeps society functioning. It sustains routine, order, and social roles. The truth, when revealed by someone who sees beyond, disrupts all of this. That is why the deep thinker is not seen as a wise person. They are seen as a problem. Schopenhauer understood this clearly. He believed that most people live in a state of voluntary illusion, driven by what he called blind will. They do not want to understand the world. They just want to survive in it with the least discomfort possible. The search for truth, therefore, is an antisocial activity. It requires rupture, courage, and worse, a willingness to lose what once seemed certain. And no one wants to lose what they have always believed, even if it is a lie. That is why society rewards the obedient, those who do not question. The student who repeats formulas without reflection gets good grades. The employee who follows orders without thinking gets promoted. The citizen who believes what the majority believes is considered good. Meanwhile, the one who thinks for themselves is seen as arrogant, problematic, subversive. That is why you feel out of place. You represent the exception that threatens the rule. It is no coincidence that the most consumed content on social media is quick, superficial, and sensational. Intelligence is frightening because it requires pause. And stopping to think, in this world of distractions, is almost an act of rebellion. While the masses chase instant gratification, the thinker walks slowly towards discomfort. And that makes them dangerous. The system, culture, and even educational institutions have been shaped to keep you distracted, not awake. Since childhood, we are trained to fit in, not to question. And when someone escapes this conditioning and begins to see the gears behind the facade, society marginalizes them as if protecting itself from a virus. But what if this virus, deep thinking, is precisely the cure for the existential void that so many feel and cannot explain? Why then does society insist on treating the thinker as an enemy? The answer lies where the wound becomes even deeper, in the historical loneliness of those who dared to see beyond. In the next part, we will understand why the brightest minds in history have always been rejected in life, and why this is likely happening to you as well.